Good afternoon, Saturday 3 p.m. I am not in my studio, but I'm in Minnesota office. So today's topic, I think it is a very important topic for today, for this time, for this turbulent time in the finance industry. So our topic today is tax reporting crypto. Everything crypto. That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's quickly, I can't believe I start talking, then I start coughing. Okay. You understand that every time we start talking about the topic, we want to give you a little good impression about our firm, right? Community CPA is a very special place. What we do is we think for you. That if we have any specialty is because we really understand what small business needing to know at any given time. If you go back to our webinars in history, we had 5 years webinar time. You can go back and you will find out during that time when we did the webinar what was going on in the world, because we literally reflect what's going on. Right now, if you search internet, the buzzword is crypto. Why is crypto? Because this world, this U.S. economic market is going deregulation. Deregulation promotes things that has no regulation. So crypto is a place where a lot of freedom is still there, and people are doing different things. You can literally not reporting your income and nobody knows, and you know that, and I say that in the public because that's the fact. But now today, what I want to tell you is, with time, crypto will come to be a matter of fact in life. And how you treat your crypto transactions, how you understand the future world, is coming from your knowledge of crypto. So what we're doing today is to tell you how to account for it, how to report for it, and how to do it, and so you don't fall into compliance trap and making you go bankruptcy and just over one audit, right? So we want to be conservative and preservative to save your wealth and whatever you made so far. So what you see is our website, communitycpa.com. And you want to come to our website to see what's going on every week, because we do. We update our knowledge, we update our appearance, we update our things on the website. And here is our YouTube channel. Anything you hear from today, yesterday, before, we have 4 videos come out every week, folks. So you probably heard one of those videos sometime. If you kind of like, oh, I want to hear that again, you come to youtube.com. Look for Community CPA. You will come to here. Look at that. We have like more than 1,300 videos. And some of those very old videos no longer relevant. We even take it down, but we still have that many videos for you. You can search. And that magnifying glasses in the middle of the page, that's your key. And you just search keywords and the video will come up. And I have 2 books on Amazon you can buy if you just like, the 8 a.m. one was done in 2019. And the 10 a.m. was done in 2023. So we are in 2025. My 2 p.m. is not done yet, but I'm working on it. So you just know that I have a series of business book coming out. 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m. is about expanding your business. 6 p.m., retiring from your business, in case that is ever your plan. It is not my plan yet, so that book doesn't have any pages in it. It's just a title. Now, no responsibility disclaimer is always something we want to say this to you, not because we spill out garbages to you so you don't listen to us. That's not the reason we say that. We want to make sure that you take responsibility of what you do to your finance. You can hear me talking, you can hear other people talking, but whatever they are saying, you want to digest that, make sure that is a knowledge you endorse before you use it, right? Now, let's talk about accounting for crypto. So we're going to do 2 big pieces today. The first one is accounting for crypto. The second one is reporting for crypto. Okay, so every time when you talk about accounting, people think about, oh, in and out, I need to write down every transaction. I literally have a client, potential client, not my client yet, but he learned my other videos on YouTube channel, contacted us, and you know what he want me to do? He want me to do accounting for his cryptocurrency transactions. So I ended up talking to him about what I am going to talk to you right now. Let's talk about cryptocurrency accounting. Whenever you make money from cryptocurrency, such as you sold a coin, you got more profit, or you receive a coin from mining, or maybe someone just paid you a coin because of the service, whatever you do, right? These are the transactions considered taxable in United States of America, okay? However, tracking all of your crypto transactions, I know it is tedious. It is almost impossible when you have different platforms and you have different wallets and exchanges. Oh my goodness. And you also have many mining machines in your garage, and you are just like crypto all around, but you don't know where to begin on these transactions, on accounting, right? Buying a QuickBook not gonna help you, am I right? You can buy QuickBook all day long, but QuickBook doesn't do your crypto accounting. So imagine crypto is just like a business you do, like the restaurant you operate. In restaurant, what do you get? You get a POS system, right? The restaurant POS system does what? It accounts your people's hours, they badge in, badge out. It accounts your tips, accounts your credit card transactions. It's literally is your operating software. So you rely on POS to pay sales tax, to pay tips, and to pay income taxes, everything, right? So in crypto world, when you get involved with cryptocurrency, in and out, and trading and exchanges, and doing, exchanging for services or paying each other, that is your business, and you need a POS system. Then you may say that, oh, easy for you to say, when I type in crypto POS system, the internet think I am crazy and it's offer me something totally not that way. Of course, they don't call themselves POS system, they call themselves something else. So the software programs that popping up daily related to cryptocurrency management, and that is something we see our client has. So I'm not a salesperson for any of those platforms, but I'm just going to tell you that most of my clients are small, medium-sized businesses. And if the owners are getting into crypto side of world, we particularly have quite a few well-established crypto, clients. They're doing crypto business as a real business. So what do they do? What kind of system do they use? So I want to kind of introduce you to those systems so you at least heard the name. So next time when you want to do it and not sure what accounting software to use, well, it's not QuickBooks, and then you can have these buzzwords coming to your mind. Then you can go search for charges, figure out how much you need to pay, and select a POS system for your crypto operation. So you may say that, well, those programs are needing to help me in certain ways. Can you elaborate on what can they help you? One biggest thing I want to tell you is all of these programs offer your tax document. So you don't need to figure out your total proceed, your cost basis anymore, because these programs you got for the crypto POS system, they will give you that. And also, I have an example right here. If you bought a 1 Bitcoin at $20,000, right? Of course, it's not that price anymore. And you sold later for $30,000. Then you got a $10,000 gain, am I right? So in this particular transaction, imagine you do 10,000 of those transactions. So you need to pair them up to know which one minus which one sell first, which one sold later. Sometimes you don't sell the 1 Bitcoin, you sold 1.003 Bitcoin, things like that. So it will math for you, calculate your gain, and determine what type of tax applies to your gain. So you may say that, oh, Ying, what are you talking about? gain is gain. Yeah, pay taxes. So what do you mean by difference? Of course it is different. So there is a regular income that you can gain. There is a self-employment income you can gain. There is capital gain you can gain. So out of this $10,000, who knows? Maybe that is not a regular income. That is capital gain. Or maybe that is not a self-employment income. It's other income. So we will talk about that. But what I want to hear you understand me here is that it is the nature of your gain determines the rate of taxes you pay. And the nature of your gain calculation is relying on these POS system. Now, let's look at 3 of them, which is the most popular ones, and we hear from our clients. So we have more than 13,000 clients. Majority of our clients are business clients. We handle 1040 return only because they are business owners. So you can kind of get a sense of what community CPA is doing and who is our sweet spot and what are the best people we serve, right? So out of our clients, we see their report. We look at their transaction to help them to figure out what is the gain to report. So that is how we gain knowledge of what kind of system we have. So we have TaxBit, that's one. Recently, there's a lot of publications related to this company, and they're doing really good. And the Coin Tracker and the Coinly. So those 3 are the 3 we have seen. And with our regular small business owners, so let's talk about them. TaxBit. This software company, we call them platforms. So basically what they're doing is they offer you a platform called TaxBit, and you load your transaction in there, or you trade on their platform, and then at the end of the year they give you a report, right? So this company used to offer it for individual, but right now if you want to have that software, that POS system for your Coinbase, for your cryptocurrency exchange, you would need to be a company. So they are no longer offer consumer facing crypto tax product, and their consumer solution is discontinued back in 2023. So they still have individual clients on there. So one of our clients is actually on there, but their ending is in 2024. They did not end those individual accounts until 2024. But if you have a business and you're doing these crypto transactions as a business, your LLC, and you can call in to them, and they will give you an enterprise package for you to sign up onto their platform. And the TaxBit for enterprise use, they typically are serving big businesses. For example, the crypto exchanges and the wallet need to simplify user tax reporting flows. Those are their focus. So they're known for their reporting to be really clean and strong. So a lot of government agency, the government or regulators, and they use that software to track the crypto activities, ensure compliance. So they're probably the top line of the compliance, endorsed by the government, so-called. Their report is reliable. And they also have a lot of financial institutions are relying on this platform. They built this platform initially was built by CPAs and the lawyers. So the platform is trusted for its accuracy and the legal rigor. So they are like very tight, and they are in compliance. The system is backed by major investors, so widely adopted by regulatory bodies like governmental bodies. So for that reason, they have a pretty strong backbone, right? So this is this is one of the POS system for cryptocurrency operation. Then here I listed the pricing for you. It used to be about $500 to $1,000 a year for our client, but that consumer package is concluding, so they're offering the enterprise package, so you can call into them and get enterprise pricing from them, and their pricing model is customized for the size of your business, so you don't have to be worried about, oh, what if I'm not a Bank of America and what kind of price I'm getting, right? So they do have pricing. It's just that they don't do individual account anymore. They only do enterprise account. But as a small, medium-sized business owner, as soon as you hear them saying that, oh, we do big business, we don't do individual account, so you don't get intimidated or put down by people talking about, oh, we only service business. You are a business. If you are a LLC and trading as a day trader, you are a business. So making sure that you don't get intimidated by the term they use, just like SBA. SBA say, oh, we support small businesses. Do you know what the definition of SBA is, small business? If you don't know, it is business with $20 million gross revenue. Majority of the small business don't make 20 million. So do you still call them small business? Of course, right? So definition is definition. What I'm telling you is you can use the platform as long as you are registered as an enterprise, not as an individual. The second one is Coin Tracker. This one is relatively more popular in the clients I know compared to the TaxBit. And I know Coin Tracker comparatively has the most reasonable pricing. So basically, if you look at their pricing model, their medium size model, their pricing model is like QuickBook. So that's kind of how I sense the charges, how that charges go, whether that's reasonable or not. So if you use QuickBook, you know how much you pay, right? So the price you pay to QuickBook, it is about the same price you pay to Coin Tracker as a medium user. So the Coin Tracker is for consumer. So they on the portfolio tracking side, they consolidate your crypto holdings. The same thing as a TaxBit, they also consolidate, but Coin Tracker, they can help you to consolidate 500 plus exchange and the wallet integrations. You have so multiple wallets, and you can integrate them together into one platform, so the tax reporting will come out nice and clean and unified. So they don't they're not messy per se. They support for more than 10,000 assets. So different coins, different asset, right? So they even do decentralized finance platforms, which is something I thought it was not logical, but that's what they claim they do. So with that said, their portfolio tracking is very complete. Tax reporting is by default. You got it. So they also integrated what we call tax optimizer, because when you have, let's say when you have a different point of purchase, then when you want to sell, and which one do you want to sell? Do you want to generate loss? Do you want to generate gain? Or maybe because you have too much loss already, you want to generate gain? So those tax optimizer inside of Coin Tracker will give you some suggestions, tell you what to sell, how to sell, and when you sell it, then they match to a different transaction to make you pay less taxes, right? The rest of it is security and stuff I expected them to have, and so these are this is another POS system called Coin Tracker. And in terms of pricing on this one, the Ultra and the Ultra Plus, this is a $600 a year. So this is the package equivalent to QuickBook. So I really think that price is not really an issue, but what an issue is, a lot of our small business owner, when you got into cryptocurrency business and you just didn't even realize that you're supposed to have a POS system. So I'm hoping that what we are talking about here give you a general sense. If you get into this kind of transactions and you got in and out too much like day traders, you really need to have this POS system, right? So that is the pricing, and you can always come back to our webinar. on our YouTube channel and look into those slides and just take a screenshot or something. So that way you know what we talked about. And I'm not going to read through all of it because I do rely on you later on can get into the details. Coinlay is the third POS system I am about to mention to you. Coinlay is very much like CoinTracker. So this is, of course, is a different ownership. And if you want me to say, oh, you know, what's the difference? You know, TaxBit is more expensive, and for bigger business, but maybe bigger one is better, and a small, you know, enterprise, maybe the price is not as competitive as Coinbase. So Coinbase is the one that among my clients, and I know the people, more people using Coinbase than the TaxBit and the Coinlay. And the Coinlay is actually, in terms of the cost, I think is the lowest cost. It actually can give you a free platform. You can take the report, but you can view the report. It's free, so you can actually do everything you needed, and I guess you can take a screenshot if you really need it, right? So Coinlay is right after Coinbase in terms of pricing, but in terms of reporting everything, and they promise similar to what Coinbase is promising. So with that said, it claims data integration and can take all your exchanges, wallets, and your blockchain protocols, those DeFi platforms, and it claims the same as what the Coinbase does. It is another option for our folk. And you know, here is a free up to 10,000 transactions. If you remember, in CoinTracker, the 10,000 transactions was actually $600 a year charges. So here it's free. It's just that you can only preview them. You cannot really take them out of the site, like print it out. So in another word, if you have a 1099 B transaction printout laid out, yes, you can get a screenshot for it, but it's never going to be a report that you can support your tax filing. So, but that's zero. That's a charge free. So I would say that, you know, you literally can use and pay no money, but still have your POS system. All right. So we covered three, right? We covered three POS system for you if you get into crypto side of business. So now my second big part in this presentation is about how to report crypto activities to IRS. So let's go for it. I have this chart out for you, so we are coming back to here. But what I want to tell you is there's three ways to report crypto operation. So number one way is to treat that as like stock trading, passive investor. So gain is capital gain, loss is capital loss. So that is one way. And you will do Schedule D, right? Form 8949. So that is what you use to report capital gain and capital loss. The second way of treating it is on the Schedule C, treating that as a self-employment income and self-employment loss. So as a real business. So if you have an income, you pay self-employment tax. If you have a loss, you can offset your other income. So treat your cryptocurrency operation as a business. So what is the third one? Third one is treating your cryptocurrency operation as a hobby, which you don't pay self-employment tax, and you just simply pay taxes when you got a gain. If you lost, too bad, so sad, you don't get claimed. So that is kind of how that is. But there's one more thing, is not related to the calculation of the taxes. It is a declaration of whether you have that activity or not. So that is our first item we want to address. So 2025 1040 is not there yet, so I pull out 2024. And do you recall there is a line right on the first page on the top center? It's called the digital assets. So cryptocurrency, even though it is currency, but in this world of finance, we call it assets. Okay? Don't confuse that with your house, with your office building. It is cryptocurrency and it's virtual. You can't feel and touch. It's just a number on the screen, and that is asset. So you need to click yes or no, truthfully, accurately. That's what IRS is asking. You know, if you go onto irs.gov and you just type in cryptocurrency or crypto digital asset, the first screen come out under irs.gov, it is to require taxpayer to report that information accurately, completely. So if they write like that, if they find you not doing that, they have all the right to kick you out of the country if you're an immigrant, or put you in jail. If you got no place to go, you're a U.S. citizen, then, you know, it's criminal charge. It's criminal charge. So I don't want to sugarcoat that, oh, no big deal, and you're going to be okay. Nobody is okay. And as long as it's on the IRS website says that you need to report that accurately, guess what? You need to report that accurately. Use POS system, okay? And don't just calculate on your Excel spreadsheet. Like that client who come to us want us to help him because he was using Excel spreadsheet with all these different wallets, and he's so confused and he didn't know too much time he spent, so he wanted me to help him. So I said, did you have a system? Oh no. Then the first thing is we get a system. Then we upload all the transactions based on the Excel he has. And then we have the system helping us to produce the 1099 report so we can do taxes, right? Now, when to click yes? Let's just read through this. Okay? You either click yes or you click no. You cannot leave it empty, right? So you received crypto as a payment, rewards, airdrops, mining, stacking, or hard forks. You sold, exchanged, gifted, or otherwise deposited a digital asset. This includes transferring crypto for fiat, other digital assets, property, or paying transaction fees in crypto. Okay? It's a lot of word salad, right? You don't have to make sense of the complete sentence. I just want you to pick the salad out. So which one is blueberry, which one is strawberry, and you know that, right? So if you know that you got something reward in crypto asset, you need to click yes, you know? And if you know that you're doing mining work in the virtual desert, and you need to click yes, right? So if you know that you're paying transaction fees in crypto, you need to click yes. Because that means you're on a platform which is a centralized platform, which is a platform can give you a 1099 virtual currency statement. Okay, so that is a yes. When do you click no? You only held the digital asset, but did not transact with it. And you transferred asset between wallet that you fully control, did not use digital asset for transaction fee. So say you got gifted cryptocurrency in 2024, so you checked the yes. But in 2025, you didn't even touch that gift. It was there. It just didn't really do anything. Then you check no, right? So this is where the yes or no comes. So that is the first reporting requirement with IRS to you. Crypto mining business. I want to talk about this because we have clients doing that. And you know that there's two types of business. Sometimes you hear people saying hobby income, business income. So are you doing the crypto mining as a hobby, or you are doing that as a business? That is a question for you. So you need to first classify, is your action a hobby or your action is a business intention? If you mine regularly with the intention to make money, and have substantial equipment and investment operating like a business. I am talking about substantial, not one mining machine. Maybe, we have clients with shelves after shelves mining machine. So we know that is substantial. That is a business, right? But if you say, oh yeah, I have one underneath my bed and I just, plug that in, boy, it eats up electricity a lot. But, I got one coin last year, so not bad. That sounds like a hobby. That doesn't sound like a business. Even though your electricity fees, your utility went up by 3 times, but that is still a hobby, right? It's not substantial. So how do you report hobby? If you got a hobby and you got one coin in 2024, say you got one Bitcoin, right? 60,000. Then you need to report that 60,000 as other income. You cannot deduct any expenses because it's your hobby, right? And you say that, well, Ying, where did you get that 60,000? Well, I got that 60,000 because on that day, that time, when you luckily found a coin in the desert, and that coin at that time, the fair market value was 60,000. So you are going to report on that fair market value on that day you received them, not the day you file your taxes. Maybe you go in, not right, because by the time I come around to file taxes with you, that coin already becomes $6,000, not 60,000. It's irrelevant, and it is 60,000 because that is the time you discovered the coin, you found the coin. No deduction for your hobby expense, even though it costs you 3 times more on electricity bill, right? If mining is a business, you report self-employment income. So that you use Schedule C. The hobby one, you use Schedule 1, put under other income. I think is line 8, Part 1, line 8. But if it is a business, you do Schedule C, okay? Then Schedule C, you can deduct your expenses. So you have your 60,000 come in, and then you reduce all your electricity and God knows what else you spend. Maybe you actually consulted with Community CPA. They charged you $300, and then you can write that in. So those are the things you can deduct, right? So make sure that you record each coin you found on that fair market value, and for the moment you find it, for that day you find it, right? So after you reduce your expense, you may even have a loss, but if you don't have a loss, you will pay 15.3% on self-employment tax on top of your income tax, right? So let's say you got it. You got that Bitcoin, the $60,000, and you reported income already. The next year you sold it, okay? And when you sell that coin, because it has a base of 60,000, then you sell it, and that selling is a capital gain. So you will use Form 8949, Schedule D, to report that. So this is where we want you to be aware of. Like, what are you doing? You are obtaining an asset, then you dispose the asset. When you dispose the asset, that's capital gain, right? Then some taxpayers are extremely smart. They challenge me. They are like, oh, Ying, my my mining business is a C corporation, so I don't have self-employment tax. I don't have capital gains. I am just paying 21%. You're right. If you have a business to do mining, and you are a different type of entity, of course the tax treatment will follow that. But this particular one I'm talking about is you individually as a sole proprietor, right? You're in business, and you did this mining business, so you can deduct your house electricity bill, because I know you don't spend $5,000 on electricity bills if you don't have this business. So now let's look at my example. And you mined 0.1 Bitcoin on June 1. Fair market value is 6,000 for one Bitcoin. I just use a stupid amount. It's nothing. It's not the real number right now. And what you would do is, because you acquired 0.1 Bitcoin, so you report $600 income, right? So if it is hobby, you plug $600 into income, calculate taxes, you're done. But if it is business, you want to minus your expenses. So $600 minus $600 electricity, I made zero. Then you don't pay taxes, right? So, but let's say next year you sold it for $800. There's $200 gain. That is a capital gain. All right. So this is what crypto mining business we want to talk to you about. Now, let's talk about 1099 digital asset. Digital asset proceeds from broker transactions, a form for, the forms that they produce. This is what IRS asking. This is part of the BBBA Act. So it was in there. So what they're saying, the act says that in 2025, all the broker company like Coinbase, they must issue 1099 digital asset form to you. But on that form, they only gonna report in 2025, you're only gonna see your proceeds. So there's no reporting on your cost base. So in 2025, when you do your tax return, so hear me, folks, you need to have your own cost base calculated. That might mean very tedious Excel spreadsheet. If you don't have the POI system with you and you are asking for a lot of detailed data calculation, okay? So you want to calculate your cost base, because otherwise this proceed form could be $3 million. But if your cost base is $4 million, you actually have $1 million loss. The problem is the brokerage platform are not required to give the cost base in 2025. But that will change in 2026. If the regulation don't change, like baby change diapers, that's what we are experiencing right now. So if the regulatory do not change their mind in the regulation, then in 2026, your 1099 DA will report number 1, proceed, number 2, cost base. So that will make your gain and loss a lot easier to identify. You can rely on that. Hopefully those platforms are reporting something you also feel that's correct. But if you don't feel that's correct, it is so important you figure out why. Of course, my folks are really smart. Someone already said that, in another webinar, I talked about this 1099 digital asset reporting. Someone already commented that, Ying, that's not right. Some of those brokerage firms, they don't have to report. Only some need to report. There is a court case related to that in April 2025. I really did not look at the court case, and I know there's so many challenges going on. The government has a rule come out, there's a bunch of lawsuits piled up, so it's like, we don't know. But what we know is, generally speaking, like a coin tracker, they have it. Coin tracker, they will produce 1099 DA, and the tax bit, they will produce 1099 DA, and the Coinly, they will produce 1099 DA. So the one they call that decentralized finance platform, they don't have to. And right now, because there's something they filed in April of this year, so prevent them from needing to do that. So folks were asking me that, what do you mean? What do you mean? Are you saying that what's the difference between the decentralized and centralized? So I guess, I'm not expert in it, but I have a layman understanding related to these kind of brokerage account, these kind of system. So just imagine that the most simple way of identifying them, whether they they do 1099 DA reporting or not is to see that when you trade your crypto coins, and do you pay a transaction fee. If you pay a fee, you're dealing with a virtual currency bank. It is like a bank system. You're dealing with a bank. But decentralized platform are the one that you keep your coin, you keep your crystal in your own wallet. A wallet like MetaMask, if you ever heard of that term. So it's a wallet like MetaMask, like your own wallet. You control your access of your wallet. Nobody else has that private keys, just you. And what if you lose it? You lose it. You lose the key, it's like you lose all your money in your crypto coin. So the platform is that kind of decentralized platform. Usually sets us usually transact on a contract level. They call that smart contracts, and in my understanding, it's just e-contract. It's a virtual contract, quickly done. So they interact between wallet, yours or others, right? There is no centralized platform to hold your funds. It's not like you save $10,000 in US bank, then you can retrieve it anytime until the 10,000 is gone. This has no centralized platform. Everybody has their private wallet, and if you lose the key, you lose the money. It's equivalent, and nobody holds your funds, and it's just you have it in your own private wallet. And if you want to work with the other person who has the other wallet, you use e-contract to interact each other, and you do transaction that way. And for Coinbase, kind of a centralized platform, you hold your private key, when you do the private key, you also put in your name and your address and your identity. So it's actually, the key is tied to your social security number per se. So it is like one-on-one. They have a control, and they also have customer service. They help you, right? If the Coinbase get hacked or frozen and decided to restrict your account, your assets can be cutting off, but the funds are still there. So if you resolve issues and you have your funds, so you deposit in your own account, but the account is centralized, held by the platform. So those centralized held platform are doing 1099 digital asset. Does that make sense? This is Chinglish way to explain things that we all don't understand. Understand some, not all of it. But I give you what I know. I felt like because English is not my native language, so my brain is wired to say things or to explaining things in a more plain way. So I don't have big words for you. If you give me a big words, I don't even know how to say it. So when I explain something, I will tell you, all of my clients are like, we understand. They understand my Chinglish, and even better than the native language they speak, because English is so easy, right? It's easy to learn and grasp. That's why a lot of people speak English. Well, the native may not agree. They were like, nah, English is very deep. But my English is at elementary level, so it's easy. All right, so let's summarize IRS's order, because you need to know what IRS is asking us to do so you can be right. Don't let anybody find excuses to deport you, right? So that's kind of our minimal goals. And let me summarize. So you must report all crypto-related income and transactions, even though you don't receive a tax form. So you may say that, oh, Yin, great. Now I'm on the decentralized platform. I did some deals and I made a lot of money on it because there's no 1099 DA, so I'm not going to report it. No, the IRS said you're going to report transactions and your operation on crypto-related income, and even though you don't get the tax form. So now we're clear, right? And IRS Form 8949, that is a Schedule D, right? That handles capital gain and losses. And IRS also asks you to, if it is not capital gain and capital loss, and you should put in the Schedule 1 or Schedule C to report income, right? So that you understand. We used the mining business as example, and you can be a hobby, then you report that on Schedule 1 and the line Part 1, line 8. So for other income, and if it is a business, you report on Schedule C. Then 1099-DA is a new form, okay? That's gonna come to you. You're gonna see it for the first time in 2025. You can imagine those digital platforms are so busy. They need to come up with that form. And that's why the TaxBid and the Coin Tracker, Coinly are there because they already have it, right? So you will get that in 2025 when you give documentation to your tax preparer. You know that you need to include 1099-DA if you have digital currency, digital asset, okay? Starting from next year, when we file 2026 tax return, tax preparer can take a breathe because now we got a cost base without chasing after clients, right? You know, our tax preparer, our tax folks, our taxpayers are so hard to track down. They don't know their cost base. They were like they have such a hard time to make money. They really work so hard to make money. But when it comes to tax reporting, they love to pay tips to IRS. They were like, we don't have cost base. Oh yeah, all of your proceeds are income. Then your tax is gonna be so high. You pay 1,000 times more than our dear president of Donald Trump pays. I mean, that just really is sort of out of proportion. That's not right. And I think his W-2 is a lot higher than yours. Plus, he makes more money than W-2. So with that said, let's try not to pay tips to IRS. Their commissioner already resigned or fired. I don't know. This is a new news. So just knowing that we need to make sure we report everything accurately. Okay? Be a good citizen and be responsible for your own records. And that's really what you can do. You know, one circumstances is one way, our own life is a different way. The best way to live our own life properly, safe, it is to do everything by the book. And you can do it. And we will help you to do it, right? And those decentralized finance platforms are currently exempted from the 1099. But remember, as long as you did that transaction, you should report. It is not about whether you have a 1099 DA form or not. All right, so we covered your POS system, which helps you to do accounting correctly for your digital operation, for your digital currency operation. Then the second big piece, we talked about taxes, reporting, how you report it, where you report it, right? We, of course, did not cover cryptocurrency company. What if I am S corporation? What if I am C corporation? But we did cover sole proprietorship, which is on the Schedule C, right? All right. And one more thing. This is our website. If you go to our website, you can see that appointment button. If you click that appointment, you will see me there, and you can always check out my calendar, book appointment with me. Of course, I charge a fee for doing the consultation and giving you the solution, but you know, every penny you spend on community CPA, you are doing two things. Number one, you are supporting a company who has your interest in mind. And we are the firm believe in shared prosperity. We want you to have more money, and we work hard to make you, to save you, so you have more money, right? So number two things you do when you make appointment, and you grow your own knowledge. So not only you support community CPA, and you grow your own knowledge so you can do it yourself. So our YouTube channel is, we call it, in our firm, we actually call it do-it-yourself channel. So, you know, because we give out our knowledge in this channel and no reserve. What we know is what you know. But of course, you have other specialties. You are specialized in this and that. You don't have to be specialized in what we are specialized. That's why we are here to support you. But we want you to know the buzzword, to know what exactly you are looking for. When a boss has an idea, the operation will go the right way. If you are a boss, you don't have an idea, you don't even know what cryptocurrency is, one of your customer goes, I want to pay you a coin for this service, is that okay? What do? You probably say, no, I don't want it. And then maybe you lose an opportunity, right? So let's just say we're opening doors and you make sure and you are willing to come through this door or not, make decision and be a good business person, make a lot of money. All right, and our website, again, right here, our YouTube channel with this round logo, you can find us. And our office opens 6 days a week. Do you know that? Yeah, we open 6 days a week. Whether it's tax season or not, it doesn't really matter. It is really where we want to be available when you find time, which a lot of our entrepreneurs are on Saturday. They have a little hours, so they come to see us. So I will see you again on YouTube, on webinar, and I hope this one gave you some light bulbs shining at this moment. Okay, bye-bye.